Hey everyone, it's Cassie.
It's Esty. We're best friend-in-laws. We've got some shit to say.
I'm ready. Are you? Hi.
All right, welcome back, bestie. Another week.
Nice.
How you doing, college student?
I'm tired. I'm just kidding.
Already.
No, I actually was just talking to my cousin and I was telling her that I joined a Zoom class, one of the classes I'm in is English, and then they have you do meet 5 Zooms.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't meet, you have to write a 600 word summary. And I was like,
Oh,
not
shit.
happening.
Yeah.
I'm going to just, join the Zoom. And then one of the questions were how does everyone feel about this class? Or, something. And a lot of people were like, I haven't took English in a long time. I'm not a strong reader.
Mhm.
And I'm like, same girl, same. So I kind of felt not alone. So
That's good. I worry about because I do want to sign back up for school again, but I worry about the online interaction because I think that I would probably learn better in a classroom.
mhm.
That takes a lot of dedication to keep focused on a screen that I don't know that I can do it. I mean, you see when we talk, my eyes bounce everywhere. I can't even pay attention to just
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. And
So that would worry me.
luckily he didn't force cameras to be on. So some people had it on, some didn't. As long as he's seeing you're interacting and answering questions, you got credit. So that was kind of nice. And it was only an hour. But I did I was at work, so I took
Yeah.
a lunch. I was
Oh, shoot.
eating, and
Yeah.
so I think that's a benefit for me because I am very I can literally be at a doctor's appointment and be on it or something. So I feel like that
That's kind of,
benefits me.
yeah. I was gonna say you remember when I first took this position and I had to take those classes. I had 12 classes that were 8 hours long. So some of them were 2-day courses, and I was just walking around with my iPad everywhere. I can't. I'm tethered to this
Yeah.
screen that I don't think I could do that if it was a whole semester. If that's how things are. I mean, not no, they're not 8-hour classes, but
Yeah.
just the fact that you have to be so engaged. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'd rather be in person.
Yeah. Well, I am taking one in person, which is sign language. So I have to know the whole alphabet by tomorrow.
Oh, come on, practicing here. Just keep practicing,
I know. I'm literally just
as you're
mainly
walking.
practicing my name,
Mm-hmm.
and then I feel like everything else will come together because you have to know your name to sign in tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, let's
Or,
see it.
or your
How far
accent.
can you get in your alphabet?
Oh, in my alphabet? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's A,
Oh, I'm gonna pull my
B,
head down.
C. I think this is D. D. And then, oh yeah, D is O.
It's a cross.
F. G's this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have to do it like this. I don't know. See?
Uh-huh.
H is a gun.
Mm-hmm.
I, J, K, L,
Uh-huh.
M. M's
Crossover.
I have small fingers.
Crossover. Uh-huh.
M,
M
and then
N.
N, O is this,
Mm-hmm.
and then P is a gang
Yeah.
sign, and then Q is
Mm-hmm.
Q, R is this,
Mm-hmm.
S, T,
Together.
O,
Together.
U.
Uh-huh.
See? Then,
Yes.
oh, this is
Good thinking.
V. V is
Yeah.
almost like K. And then W, X is another gang sign. Why? And then Z.
Isn't it with your pinky?
Oh,
You see?
yes. I'm telling you, the gang sign one, I just can't get it.
Don't be mistaken.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. I mean, you got
Maybe.
20 out of 26 letters or something.
Yeah.
Very good.
We'll see. I'm excited for the kids to go back to school.
Yeah. Remember, I was telling you that when I took sign language at City, my teacher was deaf. It was a struggle to
That's
survive in that
mine.
course. Wait, for reals?
Yes.
You're not gonna have a choice. You can't communicate.
You can't communicate. He said no voices. You get docked for using your voice in there.
Ooh, that's gonna be
Yeah.
really hard.
No voice, just letters and then numbers. And then he said you can, like, if you're really struggling, like, to use the whiteboard, like, you can write a message. I have ugly handwriting. I am not writing in front of like 30 people.
You should
So,
put your AirPods in and put them on noise cancellation so you're tempted not to talk.
and I'll just email him. But yeah, I'm kind of nervous for that because it's from 10 to 11:50, so almost two
Okay.
hours.
Yeah.
Um, but he says, I mean, of course, we'll do it little by little, but like no talking. He had an interpreter for the first day, and he's like, "That's it."
I hope that you learn things that are actually usable.
Yeah,
Like some of the stuff that just chose to stick in my head is just not usable. Like what the fuck do I need to learn chocolate for? Like that's something I really needed.
yeah, and like some of them I know, like because of Aiden, and like the kids like all done or
Mhm.
like eat like certain things.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I know those.
Yeah.
I'm all
More.
poop.
Yeah.
But
I hope that it's a usable thing for you in your life as a second language. I mean, people don't even realize it is a whole entire second language you could learn. So,
yeah. And some people around there should do it as a second language. I'm like,
yeah, I think that's dope. We need more of it.
yeah.
Needs to be more common because there are a lot of nonverbal people out there. So,
How's our other college student? When does he start?
he starts on Wednesday, actually.
Tomorrow?
I
Or next?
text his girlfriend because her first day was yesterday and I was like, "Good luck."
Aw.
Yeah. Take this. Hang on. I'll cut it out.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah. He's doing decon and he's doing all the substerals except for substeral 5. Yes, that's it for today. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna go crazy. Like, this has been a month a month now that I'm just losing my shit. I do have to tell you that I got a really pretty text message though. It was about coordinating for tonight and stuff like that. And like
Mm-hmm.
my current interim boss is basically like having more anxiety than I am because everything's gonna fall back on her ultimately.
Yeah.
And so she was like, is this, is that? And I was like, yes, 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 just reassuring. And
Yeah.
she said, thank you so much. I owe you a lot and I greatly appreciate your leadership.
Um,
And I was like, it's okay. Like, I'm just trying to help as I can. The storm will pass and, we'll breathe easy again soon. Don't worry. And she said, well, you have stepped up like a more experienced leader and you have shown that you have what it takes to get things done. And I was like, thanks, because I'm stressed.
yeah. I've been like, where's my friend? Like,
I do have to I should just let it sink in because I'm so hair falling out in clusters, headaches, I'm tired, my skin is not very good right now. I've been breaking out all over my face,
you can't tell. You look beautiful.
thanks. Yeah, but she's just kind of being my cheerleader when I know she's more stressed than I am. And so
Yeah.
um all eyes were on me today. We did some roundings and I literally had 6 different sets of 2, how do you say? Groups of 2 that were coming through and rounding and they wanted to see if they could find things with their own eyes that maybe
Yeah.
I don't see. And it just felt like being under the magnifying glass with spotlight and
Yeah.
everybody's looking at everything wrong in it. It hurts my feelings, but it's also like, if I'd rather hear it from them than hear it from someone
Who can close you
official.
down?
Official? Yeah. So, I mean, it's okay. Little things that are still a work in progress. And you see me, I'm getting calls at 9 o'clock at night. Like, it doesn't stop. From 6 in the
Yeah.
morning, 5 in the morning, I'm there. 6 in the morning, I'm getting phone calls. 9 in the night, I'm still getting calls. I lived there this weekend. Like,
Yeah.
I need a vacation. And
You do.
it's probably not gonna happen. Um, I had the kids on a back-to-back weekend.
Yeah.
They were upset. I needed a break, but I'm not upset.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like I don't know what day it is
Yeah.
anymore. Anyways, what were we saying before I got that call?
We were just talking about the kids starting school, like
Oh,
Lorenzo
yeah.
and his girlfriend.
Yeah, I did. I sent her a text message with words, of encouragement, and told her that she's going to do great and good luck. It's going to be a big campus, but she's going to be fine. And she's excited. She just said, "You're the greatest support." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." I've
That's
taken
cute.
her on like she's my own little daughter. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't get attached to your first daughter-in-law, you know?
I know,
He's
but
gonna
she's
be like, Mom, like, stop.
um
um,
then our kids start on Monday, and
mm-hmm.
Renzo's first class starts Wednesday.
Okay, yeah.
I should go put some vodka in this.
I'm so
Anyways,
tired.
so I got an interesting text message from somebody who should have stayed blocked. If you're gonna block me, block me. Don't get a new number and text me again.
Oh, are you gonna read it?
You know,
Okay, wait, is it a man or a woman? Oh, okay.
I don't want to give them much attention because you never know what goes out there.
Yeah.
But you and I have both experienced the family drama.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm sure there is, no such thing as perfect. But the problem that me and you both face, like traits of narcissism,
Yeah.
right? Like both of us have people in our lives who just believe that they can do nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Or even when they do it wrong, it's like,
They're the
well,
victim.
it's because you did this, so I did
Mm-hmm.
this, or I reacted because of you, and I'm sick of it. I'm so far over people thinking that they can't just hold themselves accountable, and they can't even apologize. First of all, I've learned to accept that I'm never going to get an apology from a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But when you exit on your own, you choose to exit my life. I didn't shut that door. You close that door behind you. You don't then get to peek it back open every once in a while and be like, "Hey, can you help me with this real quick?" No, I cannot.
Yeah.
You don't get to text me 6 months later asking for help as if we just saw each other yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad. And this is the first time in a long time where I just I'm not even second guessing it. I don't feel bad. I don't feel anything. There's literally no emotion behind it. I said, "No, I cannot. I'm sorry. I'm busy at work. I have no time for you."
Yeah.
And first of all, that's not a lie.
Yeah. Literally, it's not a lie.
But I make time for those who need it and who deserve it.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel like I'm just in this place in my life. Like, I'm not going to put up with like people's bullshit or like people.
Yeah.
Um,
Just
I don't
people
really like
peopling.
people. Um, literally, like I was driving somewhere and I was in a good mood. Like I had got ready on Sunday. I didn't even take any selfies. I wish I did. But like I was like, I'm good, right?
Hair done, nails done, everything did.
Yeah, like I was feeling good. So I go and I'm going to my destination, which was my sister's bridal shower. And on the way there, I'm on the phone with my grandma and like I'm just like, this person, like, yelling at all these cars, and she's like, "Gosh, you're, like, in a bad mood." And I go, "I honestly was in a fine mood, but people just don't know how to drive,
Yeah.
and it made me upset." Um, and that's kinda how I feel like I'm dealing with people and, like, narcissist people. Like, I'm just like, "I'm not even gonna deal with you." Like, no. And,
Yeah.
women, men, we're all narcissists in a little we all have it a little bit. If you can't, acknowledge some of your actions are narcissistic, like, behaviors, then you have problems.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of the traits that people carry are narcissistic. And
Mhm.
I know that it's like a word that got thrown around a lot,
Way too much lately.
way too much. And you can't just label everybody as that. There are people who are just straight selfish, there are people who are just straight assholes. But the person who truly gaslights, who does no wrong, who doesn't even realize the effects of what they're doing, or the gaslighting, like,
Mhm.
that shit's real. I mean, I lived it. I divorced it.
Yeah.
But I, eyes wide open, can spot you a mile away now. And those are the people that you have to cut very quickly before they drag you down.
Yeah.
And I really just sat back, like I was on my drive home, and I called my mom and I told her I had an interesting interesting text message today. And it took her 3 tries to figure out who it was, because those are like immediately where her mind goes. And she already knew it was one of the top 3.
Mhm.
And she was like, "Oh, no, 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 don't let them in. Like, we already know." And I said, "You know what? You're absolutely right. I already know that. I'd had no plans on letting them back in, but that's how common they come and go. Like, it's no big
Yeah.
deal. No
Yeah.
big deal." And I said, "You know what? The last time I spoke to that person, I said exactly what I needed to say. I let that person go, and I felt comfort in my decision and no regret of like, damn, I wish I didn't say this, or I wish I should have said that, or no. I said exactly what I wanted to say. They knew exactly how I felt. I didn't
Yeah.
give a fuck what I look like. If I was a bitch in that moment, then I was a bitch in that moment because I put my boundary down hard.
Mhm.
And I got blocked for being me, period.
Yeah.
Happens a lot. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm definitely just at that point in my life right now. I'm like, I really don't care. If you're gonna text me looking for a fight, you're gonna just be fighting with yourself because it's not bothering me. Like,
Yeah.
this is what it is. I do feel like, you know, sometimes people just they're not gonna change, and you just gotta accept that. You know?
Yeah. But I feel like the problem that I'm I guess it's like a trend thing, right? Like, one of the biggest things that I don't like to hear is, but that's your family. But that's your blood. Blood is thicker than water.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, fuck your blood, fuck your water. Like,
Yeah.
no, because what we're not doing anymore is we're not letting it carry down and allowing that for it to be like, oh, that's just how they are. That's just them. You should love them no matter what. No, for what though? For what benefit does it bring my life?
Yeah.
Especially when my cup overfloweth right now. I don't
Yeah.
need it. Every once in a while, it just feels like the devil just pokes to test you.
Yeah.
Or like, do you miss them? You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it's like a little
Like
like,
a mind trick, like, for you. You're like,
yeah,
"Oh, yeah, you're right. I haven't talked or, like, thought of this
I don't want to,
person."
yeah, I don't want to
You know?
catch up. I don't want to know how you're doing. I don't want to know your
Yeah.
personal life. I don't want to be involved. Everything you come with comes with something negative, and I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I definitely do. I don't believe, and it may just be me. I mean, not it doesn't sound like just me because I feel like you think the same way. Like, we think very, like, um to the point. Like, I don't care if you're blood, not blood, whatever. No, I don't care. I will cut you off because um sometimes I will say, like, and I've learned this because I've been trying to practice what I'm preaching is, saying no, setting those strict boundaries because I'm one to be like, "Oh, but it's them," or "Oh, something."
Mhm.
And you've seen it and you've told me, you're like, "Why are you doing that? Why didn't you say no?"
Yeah.
Like, "Hello." And then
Because
I'm
we
just
need
like,
little birds on our shoulders to tell us, like, "Hey,
"Yeah,
remember when you told me to tell you?"
yeah." And that's what it's like. Like, you sometimes you have to have friends, and I'm glad I have friends that, like, can tell me, "You're wrong,"
Mhm.
or, "Hey, like, don't you remember this?" And I think as best friends, sometimes we have to have those hard conversations. I'm
Yeah.
not just gonna go feed you all of my side and expect you to agree with me. No, I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you all the facts. They said this, and I said this, and I might be wrong. Like,
Yeah.
you want a friend that does that. Um, I have, some friends that I recently met up with last Friday, and we're all kind of different places, but having conversations, I feel like we can talk about stuff and not have any judgment,
Mhm.
and we could say those hard things
Yeah.
and know
It's
we're
coming from
still
a good
going to be
place.
friends at the end of the day
Yeah,
because
it's
we're
coming from a
keeping
good
it.
place.
Yeah, it's coming from a good place, not a malicious place, not a
Yeah.
like I told you so place, not, it's like, hey, we love you and we want what's best for you.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't want that for themselves, then you can't make them.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk till we're blue in the face about like I told you so's and this and that, but it's really truly up to the person and the person doing the work. And that's the hard part is actually putting in the work to keep your foot down, to keep your boundary up, and to be reminded every once in a while that this is why you put that boundary in place. And I like Jesse will tell me, he'll tell me straight to my face, like he'll put me in my place and go like, "Don't you forget that they blah blah blah." And how it
Yeah.
made you feel. And sometimes you have to reflect and be like, "You're right. Damn, that was like 2 years ago." Like, but it doesn't matter because they did it. And it
Yeah.
doesn't make up for it. Like, the time does not make up for the fact that it was done.
Time does not heal old wounds.
Oh, fuck no.
I don't believe that.
That's not true.
You
That's not true
know,
at all.
I do feel like certain people in my life I have forgiven
Mhm.
for me, not for them.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go and repeat it. You
Yeah.
know, I am where I am. I've set my boundary, I'm setting my tone. And if you don't like me for it, then you don't like me for it. And if you
Yeah.
don't agree with me, that's okay. Everyone has their own opinions.
And it was so funny because, like, so I don't know if you have your notifications on for your CoStar app, the horoscope one?
Oh, yeah.
You have your notifications on?
I don't think so.
So I get my horoscope basically every morning, right? It pops up as a notification. And I was like, that's weird. Why would it give me that? I don't know if you can see it or if it'll be backwards. Is it backwards?
Yeah, I can't read it.
It says you don't have to be friends with all of your exes.
Wow.
And I got that this morning before I got that text message. And it's not an ex, but it made me realize there are people in
Is
my
it like
life.
here? Or are you
Yeah,
talking about these ones?
the one up on top.
Okay.
Above that little profile picture, whatever, that's
Yeah.
what I get in a notification. And I was like, that's weird. The message wasn't from an ex, but it was someone in my past, right?
Hmm.
Like, and that's why I just thought it was funny because it just was too, it was too on
Well, it
point.
tells me yours. I could read it actually. It says SB is trying to please people.
That, my dear, is absolutely correct.
I was gonna say that's actually totally correct in your like work life. I wouldn't say like your personal life,
Oh, definitely.
but it's so funny. I can't believe I can see that.
Yeah, I was.
Mine's just to start over.
Oh, you are. You're back in school.
I know, it's just start over.
Yeah.
You know, someone told me they're like, "You're going to school again? Like, aren't you in like the medical field?" I'm like, "Yeah, like 10 years
Yeah.
ago, but like that's nothing now. You need to keep going. Like,
Mhm.
I want to show the kids, like, it doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, Rowan was like telling me like earlier, he goes, so you're not going to graduate till like I'm like 10, maybe 11? And I was like, yeah. Like, he's like, call. And I took him actually with me to campus today to like pick up some stuff.
Mhm.
I had to sign some paperwork. He's like, it's so big here. Like, how long
Hmm.
is college? So I'm glad I'm taking him and like showing him because I want him to know like this school's for everyone. It doesn't matter. You're not the only
Yeah,
one now. And
and you don't ever have to stop. And like I try. I know that I don't know. I should stop, I guess. But I try to push Jesse a lot to like, are you sure you don't want to do something else? Do you want to do this or do you want to do that? Like my my dad used to take courses at City,
mm-hmm.
like one every 2 years because they'd be like 18-month courses, right?
Yeah.
And so he would go and he would take a course for like a vocational course,
Mm-hmm.
electrician. And then he would go back and he would do irrigation. And then he would go
Yeah.
back and he would do planning, like actually making like
Yeah.
blueprint. The guy could build a house by himself and he was licensed to do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to stop. You can just take a short course or class here or there or whatnot. Like, you don't ever have to stop. You just
Yeah.
keep building on it.
There's a retired cop in my sign language class.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, okay. You
Mhm.
go.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think the brain is ever meant to be done learning. So, yeah.
I might have to like step out. I'm waiting for Emma to come get her medicine.
Yeah. I hope I don't get any more phone calls either.
No, I'm like,
I had something for you. Oh, you did text me. And so I have my
it says they're
you
silent, so I was like, I better just tell her. I don't know if she's seen it.
yeah. You go to Emma, I do this. Hello. Only sign the evaluator. Yeah. It's down the columns in the middle. You can do your initials and then I will sign off on the manager part.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, you're fine. So I was looking through what I sent.
Yeah.
I had found this saying that I won't post it, but I do agree with it only because
Mm-hmm.
me and you have the experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
People who can't communicate think everything is an argument. People who lack accountability think everything is an attack. And I couldn't agree more. And I know everybody in the comment section was like, absolutely not. This is victim shaming, blah, 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 blah. First of all, it's true. If you cannot have a conversation, like an A and B conversation where there is interaction and acceptance of the words that are being said, and then
Mm-hmm.
questioning if you need to without raising your voice, you cannot communicate.
Yeah. I was trying to get to our DMs too. Sorry.
Actually, that song, yeah, they're not like us.
That's not like us.
They're not like us. But definitely, and I couldn't relate more, especially with what led to the fallout is definitely someone who couldn't hold a conversation.
Yeah.
If you can't hold a conversation, you think that I'm arguing with you, and that's not true. I think there's two sides to every story. You're welcome to feel validated in your side. I am also going to be validated in my side, and
Mm-hmm.
that's called a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like maybe before when I was younger, I definitely was just like my side, you
Hmm.
know? And I do feel like certain people that I communicate with only see their point of view and their side. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Just because I don't see it your way
Hmm.
doesn't mean I'm trying to fight you or against you. It just means like that's your perspective.
Yeah,
I'm not picking a person's side. Each person can be right or wrong. I don't care. It's like my perspective of things. This is how I see it.
yeah. And all of the people that I've usually had fallen outs with is because I do see their side, and when I point out that it's wrong for
Mm-hmm.
said reason, I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
I will never truly understand that because that feels like you're lacking maturity, you're lacking
Mhm.
accountability, and these are all things that I don't fuck with anymore.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of was going into like something that I like was looking I seen a video about like empathy and like sympathy.
mhm,
Kind of, like empathy is like you're climbing a ladder and someone's down there and they're like, "Help." You go down that ladder and you're like at their level, you
mhm,
know? And, sympathy is more like, "Oh, well, at least this," like putting a silver lining or like, like, "Oh, that sucks," but,
yeah,
and not really empathizing and relating to what that person's going through. And it's kind of like what you're saying, like,
yeah.
you know?
Do you feel like, and I probably should be working on this a little bit more too. Hmm. Do you ever find yourself if someone says like, "Oh, uh, hey, what's going on? What's wrong with you?" "Oh, I'm so sad. I lost my uncle today," or something, right? Do you ever find
Mhm.
yourself like, or if they're having a moment that's like, "You don't understand. I'm going through this. I blah 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 blah." Have you ever been like, "No, yeah, I know what you mean because I also lost my uncle, blah blah blah." I bring this up because it's like it's very hard to find that line when you should stop saying that. They don't want you to empathize with you. They want your sympathy.
Yeah.
I'm not, and I think I've always taken it like I'm trying to relate to you so that you could see that I know what you're going through. And a lot of people don't give a shit about that. They don't want to know that you've been through it. They are going through it right now. This is my moment. I want sympathy.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at sympathy though because I lack a lot of emotions in that area. Like I I'm the one that like it's okay, stop crying, please stop crying. Like I'm bad at that. I know that's something I need to work on.
Same. I've actually talked to my therapist about it because a lot of me, I thought like I don't have um sympathy
Mhm.
or empathy in a lot of reasons. Um and it
Does it tie into the ADHD though?
no. For me, it's a trauma. So it comes from like
I thought
past
about this too.
experiences, trauma. Um I know that's where it comes from. Um but it's really hard. And then I was like an adult, I literally, when I worked in oncology and we had a lot of survivors, but a lot of sick patients that like
Mhm.
died.
Mhm.
And I was just like, we had to move on to the next,
Yeah. I think
So
healthcare will do that for you too.
yeah, I think any healthcare where you see that. And so like it became a thing and I was like, is this because of my career?
Mhm.
Or is it like, I was talking to my therapist, like when I had family members pass away or you know, people that had relatives pass away, I was just like, "Oh, you're crying." But then I also think a little bit goes into my biblical aspect and
Mhm.
how like we're not supposed to mourn them. Like we're supposed to rejoice of their life and move on,
Yeah.
you know? So I don't know if like a lot of I'm saying I'm like conflicted sometimes because I
Yeah.
know some of it comes from trauma. But
Mhm.
I also know some of it comes from like my biblical aspect of learning that also. So
Yeah.
it's hard for me. I
Yeah.
do can empathize with someone that's really going through something. Like you hit me up about your custody issues. I'm, you know, I can do empathy, sympathy, mixture.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If you hit me up about a relative passing,
I'm not the one.
I'm not the one.
I'm
Like I
really
don't know.
not. I struggle with dealing with death. Um, I I'm not really good at when people cry, like, literally, and have you ever been driving and you look over and the person next to you is sobbing? And I'm like, "Oh, this is awkward." Like,
I don't look at
I've had that happen to me a lot,
I
where
don't
I can
look at
physically see
people.
them sobbing in their car, and I'm just like Oh, girl.
I don't look
Let's
at people because, like, the few times I have, it's like people are looking at boogers.
I've seen it
Or I
happen.
see someone looking at me because most of the time, if I'm at a stoplight, I'm brushing my lashes. So, like, I'll, like, look and I'll, like, see someone looking at me like, what is she doing?
Yeah, no, I'm not the person. I can't console. I don't know how to do that. And I'm a fixer. Like, so if you tell me that like you're going through something, I'm like, okay, but what do you need from me?
Yeah.
Like I feel like you're telling me because you need me to do something. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah. And I'm very big on telling people too when I'm calling them,
Hmm.
hey, I'm not calling for a solution. I just need
Hmm.
someone to listen.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Like
You know?
when you text me and say like I just need to vent, that's perfect for me because I'm just like, okay, I'll just listen. Because now I know that she's not unless I mean I will still probably offer something because
Yeah.
it's hard for me, but I know that you're not asking me for something. You just need me to hear you out really quickly. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I like this. This I can do. But
Yeah.
if you were to call me crying, I'd be like, I wasn't ready.
I know, huh? I'm like calling you this. I'm just kidding. That's
I'm
funny.
like, time, give me the time, day, and place. Let's go.
Right? I don't know. Okay, so Daniel had asked me this.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna ask you because he was like, "What?" Like he almost was like gonna divorce me. I'm just kidding. Not really.
Okay.
We don't throw that word around. But he was like, "I'm gonna get out of this car right now." I was saying that if I went out with a friend, um, a single friend, and a friend had like drama or whatever, and let's say it's not like a random fight. It's like they're in this circle of drama, and I go out with them,
Mhm.
knowing that they're always getting in fights or there's drama.
A
I said
toxic relationship.
I wouldn't put myself in that situation, but if I
Mhm.
did,
Mhm.
I was like, and they were getting in a fight, bye, I ain't jumping in. And he was like, so, like, you ain't down. Like, you're not down for your people. You
Mhm.
know, he's very hard for his people. And
Mhm.
I'm like, no, that's their mess, their situation. And I said, now, if I was out with SB, Alized, or, I named a few people, let's just name you two for now.
SB and SB2.
Oh, yeah, SB and SB too, because I always mess you guys up. Um, and some random person wanting to fight you guys, or even our guys or something,
Mhm.
or our group of people, I'm jumping in. But if it is someone, or like if we went out and you already had like, okay, I have beef with that person, I already, like,
Yeah.
then I would be like, well, that's a pre existing issue,
Mhm.
and I'm going to see my way out.
I agree. I
Okay.
agree. Um, if you like, so if you are in the car with someone and it's like you're in the back seat and they're like, I don't boyfriend, girlfriend in the front seat and they're going at it and they're bickering and they're bullshitting back and forth, I'm gonna be like, I need you to meet me here, pick me up. I'm getting out of this car. Like, I'm done. My fun time is over because they're like stupidly fighting and I don't want to be involved in their drama anymore.
Yeah.
I'm out of there. If it's we're out somewhere and there's pre-existing drama, my guard's gonna go up because I'm gonna be ready. But ultimately, I think that me and you just have too much to lose.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we know now that we're going to let that shit go. I have been in the same room as my own enemies, and we don't need to talk to each other. We don't need to breathe in the same direction. We can coexist without having to have drama.
Yeah.
Um, I've been in very toxic situations where every time I saw someone, we were fighting.
Mhm.
Every fucking on-site time we were fighting. Um,
Thank God I didn't meet that SB.
oh, it was bad. SB had bad temper. Um, And, I'm talking more than a couple of people that I just knew that as soon if you put us in the same room, it was over. It was just never gonna happen. And they would have to plan things around us so that we weren't around in the same room.
Yeah.
But today I wouldn't bat an eye. I would just be like, "Eh,
Yeah.
she got that." Like, I don't know. I just but I wouldn't do anything anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have the energy.
Yeah.
If me and you are out and you accidentally spill a drink on a girl and she turns around and swings, I'm gonna push you out the way and I'm gonna take care of it. Like, I I just
You seen the video? I'm like, help
there's a difference.
me.
There's
Yeah.
self-defense and there's just being stupid.
I mean, there's been a Cassie that like jumped out of a moving vehicle to run back and fight.
I have fought men, okay? Multiple
Yeah,
men.
literally, like I never will forget that. Like I just
Yeah.
remember being stuffed in a Honda. Some little kid that wasn't probably even old enough to go to the party. Someone's little brother was in our car, and I was like, I wanted to hit her so bad. And he goes, "You won't." And I was like, and I opened the door right as they like pushed on the gas, so I like fell out of the car, and then I like ran back and I started like hitting the girl.
Yeah.
But it was like funny at like later on. I think about it, I'm like, what was I doing listening to that little kid?
It was a double dare.
She literally, but I mean, I felt bad because the person that was grabbing me off her, like he had just got a tattoo, so his arm was like all bloody.
Now
But
it's a
I
fucking
mean,
tattoo.
I was like,
It's
okay, let's
just that
go.
there's a difference, and I feel like when you get to the point in your life that you have things that you can't afford to lose anymore, whether it be your children, your job, a career, like a reputation,
Yeah,
it's just not worth it anymore unless it needs to be a fight or flight. And I think
yeah,
that most times, like, I've taken myself and I've taken Jesse out of situations where I'm like, it's just not worth it. Like, let's
yeah,
just walk away.
yeah,
Um, I don't get riled up by looks anymore. I don't know. That's growth. That's called growth. And when you get
yeah.
to that point, we just don't have the energy for it anymore.
Yeah, I could really care less how you look at me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um,
And
because
chances are my face always looks like I'm fucking mean munging. So
you do have like one of those natural like resting bitches.
I do. And when I don't have my glasses on, it's even worse.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see.
I get a lot of comments sometimes when I tell people like hi or something that I sound like not happy. And I'm like, really? I'm a really happy person. But I
Yeah.
think it's just like when I'm like, oh, like I don't know. It's like I'd rather
Yeah.
not tell people hi and just start talking to them.
Yeah.
Because
I
I've
think
gotten
really,
told that a couple of times that they're like, you're like, hi. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to be like? Hey,
yeah.
hi.
No upward inflection on your voice.
When you know I'm already going to say hi to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just skip it. Yeah. I find myself doing this a lot because I'm just like, relax, relax. I need Botox.
I feel like mine, I don't have that natural frown.
Oh, I can get really, I think the lights are like making a little bit of a filter, but I have a pretty deep right
Look,
there.
like my scowl, like I have to really scowl. Like,
If anybody listening would like to throw a Botox party or I would love to host one, you let me know. I have a lot of interest. I really, really want to
can you
do
get
both.
Botox like right here?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
I don't know.
Anyways, I'm curious. I have one more thing I want to read to you before we get out of here. And blind read, are you ready? Because I want to know your take on it. I love blind reads. Okay,
Okay,
I
go.
recently moved in with my boyfriend. We've been talking about finances, and he suggested that we split everything down the middle from rent and utilities to groceries and going out. I make $60,000 a year, while he makes over $250,000. I personally think he should pay more I personally think he should pay more, or all since he makes more? I'm not asking for too much here, am I? Isn't he being unfair? I love him, but this feels unfair. How can I approach this without causing an argument or a breakup? Your take first.
I would say she's not completely wrong. I do feel like with certain people, well, one, like they're not married, they're just dating, right?
Just dating.
They live together.
Hmm.
Um,
And
I just
just
feel,
freshly moved in together.
oh yeah, I feel like girl, you should have that conversation before you moved in, for one.
Yes.
Two, like, you should have that conversation and be like, hey, can you pay like the major ones, like the higher ones, and maybe I'll pay like the lower ones, and then like maybe put a joint savings or something, you know?
Hmm.
Um, but that way she's still like contributing something and she's not thinking like, oh, you have all this extra money. No,
Hmm.
she's putting a savings towards like a rainy day for both of you. Cause what if one day he loses that income, you know? Um, but that would just be my opinion.
I definitely agree that the conversation should have been had before he moved in.
Mm-hmm.
And my hope is that she didn't move in with him because he made significantly more than
Yeah.
she did. Maybe it just happens to be a perk of the relationship. But I feel like an individual, not a couple, that makes $250,000 a year is going to have a different lifestyle than someone who makes $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
How can he expect her to help maintain that lifestyle if she does
Mm-hmm.
not meet that equal pay?
Yeah.
This could be a deal breaker for me if you do not see that.
Yeah.
What happens if she moved in with him, but he has like a 3 grand a month rent
Yeah.
when she's leaving her apartment of like 1,200?
Yeah.
That's not the same thing.
It's not. Yeah.
I feel like that's just crazy. Or like you said, I would be like, okay, well, you pay the major bills, you pay the rent, and I pay the just utilities.
Mm-hmm.
And you pay your car and I pay my car or something like that. Like
Yeah.
I can't see going half on everything if there's that big of a wage gap.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Do you think that he I don't feel like he even knows that this is an issue. He just says like, "Oh, we should be 50-50." Well, what does that 50-50 look like for you?
Yeah. I definitely feel like maybe somewhere in their conversation, some things were getting lost because you need to have that conversation. And I don't feel like a person would say, it needs to be 50-50 if they're, like you said, their means are well above what her means are probably at, you know? But I mean, it's hard when you're like, you should have had that conversation.
What if she had zero income? What if
Yeah.
she loses her job? Now,
Hmm.
is her 50-50? It could also be I will cook and clean and maintain and whatever the home. Like
Hmm.
you will never have to come home hungry if I don't have a job. That could also
Yeah.
be a 50-50 could be energy.
Yeah.
Could be effort. It could be
Hmm.
anything. But
Yeah.
is he still willing to do that at the end of the day?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that people are afraid to have hard conversations
Hmm.
that need to be had.
Yeah. I think that's like how it was with me. Like I said before in a previous episode, I was like, I was like, hey, you're here a lot. You want to move in, start paying some of the rent and
Mhm,
PG&E, you know? Um, but I feel like for us it was different. Like we both had jobs, good paying jobs, you know.
mhm,
Of course I felt like at the time my expenses were a little bit more
mm,
because I had 3 kids and I had a lot going out, and I had a lifestyle I was maintaining.
mhm,
And so was he.
yeah,
But as like time gone on, he was realizing like, he was buying like $100 shoes. And
yeah,
I'm like,
we're at Ross.
I'm at Ross. I go to Famous Footwear. Like,
The life
I
of a
don't buy
mom.
myself shoes until I have coupons after buying my kids' shoes, you
Right.
know?
You got
Um,
cold cash.
yeah. Yeah, like, but, we had different lifestyles. He only had 1 kid, I had 3, like, it was just different.
Yeah.
But then, we learned to adjust, and I feel like we had that hard conversation when I was like, "Hey, are you gonna move in or not? And this is what I
Mhm.
expect, and what do you expect?" You have to have those. If you're not willing to have that in a relationship, then you might as well be single.
Yeah. And I've heard a lot of different versions of what relationships look like. And I remember that we were talking about this once at work, not at my current job, but at a previous job. And like, hey, what do you guys look like? What does your marriage look like? Like, are you guys 50-50? Are you guys 50-50? And one of the guys was like, what are you talking about? Like, I pay everything. And we're like, you know what? You pay like everything? Like, she doesn't help you in any sort of way. No, I pay mortgage, I pay my car, I pay her car, I pay our phones, I pay this, I pay that. And I was like, God damn, does she work? Yeah, she works. Well, where does her money go? I don't know. She has a separate account. And I was like, I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Yeah.
But she definitely ain't sharing with you. And I think that's fucked up. I truly think
Yeah.
that that's not fair. And I think maybe in that culture, that's what was expected, that he should pick up and
Mhm.
he should take care, and that's all good and great and traditional, but it's not realistic.
It's
Let's
not.
be honest.
Mhm.
It's not. It takes 2 to 3 incomes nowadays to make that work.
Yeah, I would like to hit him up now with the economy the way it is to see how that's going. Can we get a guest? I'm just kidding.
I I like to know if they're still together because I can't see that lasting. How
Yeah.
long can you pull that shit for? I'm sure he doesn't make that great money. Anyways, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. And I feel like I said, 50-50 means a lot more than just financial.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it needs to be a conversation so that it's not just an assumption or, oh, well, you didn't say that or that wasn't part of the deal. Well, there isn't a deal, it's a relationship.
Mhm. And things change
Hmm.
like that.
And more money doesn't mean more money, in all honesty. I've been on this kick of like, it sounds nerdy, but I've been on this kick of like financial videos
Mhm.
because, I'm trying to get that 6 figure in the bank. And this lady was breaking down neurosurgeons' 6 figure income.
Mhm.
Husband makes 6 figures, neurosurgeon. Wife is a stay-at-home mom, of
Mhm.
course. But they were in debt every month. And the guy was bringing home over $1 million in income a month. Their mortgage was like 28,000 a month because they were in a mansion.
Yeah.
Their cars were all over $900 payments. The private this and the private that, the yoga trainer, the spas,
Yeah. The
private
Botox.
the private schools, the chef, the everything. At the end of all of these expenses, they were in the red every month.
Mhm.
How? You're a fucking doctor. How are you not doing better? Like,
Yeah.
you've got to trim the fat. You've got to reel it back. Actually, put your fucking wife in check and be like, listen, it all needs to stop. Like,
Yeah.
all of it.
There was like a show way back in the day that was like that with people like that had spending problems, and then they would take them from that lifestyle and put them somewhere.
Remember when the Hiltons did it?
Oh yeah.
Simple life.
The Simple Life.
Yeah, but it's just like it just blew my mind that someone who could be so lucky. What happens if he's the only income and heaven forbid he passes away?
Mhm.
Or he does I don't know, a malpractice and doesn't have a job anymore. Then what?
Yeah.
Your 6 figure income don't mean shit if you don't put a dollar away to save it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know. Savings.
We working on it.
I'm
Mm.
actively working on it.
Yeah. We working on
Working on it.
it. No worries. Mama SB gonna help you.
I need I need a financial advisor.
That'd be me. I I am such a nerd. I created my own Excel sheet. I created my own pay down program, and I've already paid off 2 major bills
I'm so proud of you.
in the last 30 days.
I'm so proud of you.
I got you, girl. And
I blame my mom, Jamie, for that one.
why?
She just always showed me life is YOLO. Money comes and goes.
There has to be balance.
Like, I remember, like, going on trips and stuff. Not too much. Like, I'm more of, like, the younger kids went on more. But when we would go on trips, like, we would know, like, we had a budget just to, like,
Mhm,
go. But, like, we knew, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, we went on our little trips because, well, she always worked, like, 2 or 3 jobs, first of
mhm,
all. But second, like, she would, like, budget the trip and
mhm,
then, like, one souvenir or something. Like, she always like kind of like we always had a great time and always felt like a lot. We didn't feel like we were limited, but
mhm,
not till like I was older and like a teenager did I realize like how she kind of strategized it.
mhm,
Um, so I used to think she was really good with her like money. And
mhm.
then as an adult, like she tells me, like, yeah, I was just really bad and I wish I saved.
Oh, she was
And
winging it?
yeah.
Oh, no. When I know that we're gonna do a trip, I budget insanely hard. Like, I have a number that my goal for that trip. I budget hella hard. I get to that number, and then that's, like, what we're doing, where we're staying, how we're getting there, how like, a food budget, like, everything like that. Like, I try to round up, get to
Mm-hmm.
that budget, and then when we're there, we balls out. Like, I know when I'm on vacation, I don't have a spending
Yeah.
limit because I'm there to spend. We've talked about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get out of my way if you don't wanna spend money when we're on vacation. Don't
Yeah.
fucking come. Go stay at home. If Leave your broke ass home. Like, if you're gonna go on vacation with me, we're gonna fucking vacation.
Oh yeah.
But I do a lot to get there, and I know what it takes. Like, I know how to trim all the fat to make sure
Mhm.
that we have it. So,
Yeah. I'm just more like, booking it.
figure it out
You know,
later.
booking it, figuring it out later. Literally, that's what I do.
We're gonna have to change that. I got you. I will show you what I do.
I'm not a planner.
We should have a whole episode on just finances.
No, I'm
Let's
scared. That does
let's bore
not sound
everybody.
fun. Actually, I think I'm.
It's like for another week. Okay,
Yeah. But that's what happens.
I'll leave you with
You
that.
see, I'm already tired from all the finance stuff.
I'm boring you.
I'm just kidding.
Thank you for letting me vent today.
Of course. I
I'll
feel
let you go
like
to.
I miss
Mhm.
you, so I'm like, virtual
We'll
hug.
loop. I know. We'll loop back around soon. I promise. It'll be
I
all
know.
over soon.
Um, I know. I need to check your schedule for Saturday because I'm gonna do the kids' back to school photos early. Sometimes the SB just makes it easier when she's there because she's creative.
Maybe Friday night.
Friday night.
We can do it around sunset or something. It'll look like sunrise.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Something like that. We shall
Yeah,
see.
we'll plan it out. I
Okay.
have the signs already. I just need to
Woohoo!
figure the other
Photographer
stuff.
SB on her way.
Yeah. Alrighty. My
Okay.
laptop's gonna die.
Oh man.
I left the charger at work.
She doesn't want to talk with me.
It really is.
It's fine. It's
It
okay. I'm
says
just kidding.
11%, 20. I have 22 minutes.
It's okay.
And if you
We've
still want to talk about whatever, yeah.
You're fine. Go have
Huh?
a good mimis. Have a good day at school
I
tomorrow.
know. I'm so tired. It's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna go to bed.
You go to bed signing your ABCs.
No.
Sing it in the new way.
No. I know,
R.I.P.
speaking that's so
elementary.
how like circle is that? Like we were just talking about the alphabet and then I have to learn the alphabet
In sign language.
in sign language.
You got this.
But I did
But
tell
I
you, right,
still
all
wanted
the
to
kids
tell
sing
them
it the
that
right way we sing it, right?
yeah. I
Okay.
wanted to see. You were supposed to send me that recording.
I didn't record them because I was driving.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry.
But they all did sing it exactly how we do, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was literally like within the last year.
Yeah, or it's satire.
Miss Rachel, satire? All right. Bye. Bye, Bessie.
Thanks for listening to another hour of our bullshit.
Make sure you follow us on all of our socials at bfil.podcast.
You can catch us every week on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Bye, besties.